Happy New Year. Happy New Year. 19 and Can you all hear us talking? Hello? And can you hear the keyboard here? Very important. Oh yeah, we're on the internet. This is Ben.
Ben.
And who else do we have here today? It's Jessica. Hey everybody, hello, hello. We got lots of highs and hellos. Maybe it'll be a year full of highs and hellos.
Does not compute.
All right, cool. So everyone, you gotta grab the right snacks. This is a party, so we need snacks, and I can't share my snacks with you, so you gotta make sure you get the right snacks. What do we have? Today we have carrots and almonds. And these carrots are from the recording sessions we did 2 weeks ago. The most recent thing we did was we did recording the Bentley album. We recorded it, and we had these carrots, and we got almonds. And for those like Jonathan Carlin out there who say they wish they had snacks, if you don't have snacks, you can just dream of your snacks. And also, if you have a sink, you can get water. That can be a snack. Even if it's not fresh, you don't have to drink it. You can just kind of admire it. Hey, Ben, did you fix that sink? Yeah. Is our sink fixed?
Yeah.
Yeah. More or less. Oh, yeah. Let's see what's going on here. If you put the carrots and almonds together, you can make carrots and almonds. I'll tell you something about that. If you're ever having a late night drive and you're trying to make sure you don't go to sleep, what you really want is carrots and pretzels. And what happens is you eat a carrot and it makes you want a pretzel. So I'll simulate it. We'll pretend I'll eat a carrot. I won't really eat the carrot. I'll just pretend.
Can I eat it?
Yeah, yeah. So pretend Jessica's me, so she'll act out me. So what you do is you eat a carrot and then it makes you want a pretzel. And so what you do then, you'll never guess it, but you go ahead and eat a pretzel, and then it makes you, you have, what is it? Thirsty. You get thirsty. So pretend this is a pretzel. Now what do you want? Okay.
I'm so thirsty.
She's super thirsty now, so what do you need? You need a carrot. And that's the way you stay up for 13 hours in a row when you're driving, is you just need enough carrots and enough pretzels to keep your mouth going. Yes, so we got all kinds of activities for you today. The main focus here is, as always, is music. So we got some music for you. So please feel free to ask music questions if you want, because it's an educational channel. So I assume music education is a topic we can have fun here. So feel free to ask questions about music, about anything that's interesting. Let's have a nice time. Today, its special guest is Jessica Kion, and she's got a lot in her mouth right now because she was pretending to eat all carrots and pretzels, but she really ate carrots and almonds.
My mouth is full of it.
Yeah. And also, if you win the special imaginary raffle, then Jessica will draw a picture of you. So
Sure.
Let's start with the raffle. Who wants to be part of the raffle? If you want to be part of the raffle, just write a number, and then we will pick a number out of the hat, and that will be the winner. So who's got? And while you guys are sending in numbers, I will be reading them. Okay.
Good.
Good. Okay. Let's go get our random number generator. I'm gonna just hold up 2 fingers and that'll be the number, but I don't know which fingers.
Okay, ready?
1,
Yep.
2,
Yep.
3. 2 fingers. How many is it? 11. 11's the winner. We got Kenneth Bartholow with the number 11 just in. Sorry to everyone else, but that's life, right? Oh, we got Joey Trawick on 11 too. Okay. All right. Can you please draw Kenneth and Joey? And that's it for 11s. It's over. Oh, okay. We got more 11s, but they're too late. Yeah. Can you please draw some people? Yeah. All right. Very good. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. There's lots of numbers, lots of conspiracy theories, lots of 11s. But I'll tell you guys something. If you don't win today, there's always tomorrow. And it keeps being that way until you die. And then once you're dead, you don't care if you win. Still not finished, but can I have an opinion, please? All right, let's see. We got Vagabundo. What opinion about what? I can't go back. It's too far. All right. Yay, we got friends in the chat. We got all kinds of nice folks. What counting system are you using? What counting system are we using? Well, we got lots of counting systems.
The hand system.
We got the hands. We got the random numbers. One thing we've been doing lately, or at least I've been doing, is I've been taking groupings of 7 and that are in 7/8 and trying to count quarter notes of 7 over them, which for some people might already be easy, but for me it's something I'm trying to like get real tight at. So you play the 7/8. Dun, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm trying to count the quarter note 7 over it, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I actually did a good job just now, but that normally doesn't go that well. I think it's all the adrenaline from this new year. This New Year's resolution for me is I want to have more adrenaline. What is your resolution specifically with regards to adrenaline? More or less, would you say?
More.
Both of us. There's a consensus over here.
Okay, so I drew both of them.
All right, this is Kenneth and Joel. Which one's Kenneth?
Yep, this one.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And Joel, obviously.
That's pretty good there. All right, so to our lucky winners, we're going to have to take a picture of these and post them
here, I'll do
on Instagram. This is going to be a multi-website thing. We've got pictures coming on Instagram right now. This is for the number 11. So now if you go to Instagram, you will find on the Instagram, you will find the picture and it says number 11, the winner. Jessica, you need to try calligraphy according to Pharmaceuticals Music, the calligrapher who made that fresh language that I used in an animation earlier this year.
I just got into watercolor painting, and I've been learning about how to draw lines with like the tip and how wet the brush needs to be or how dry, and it's very fun. I love it a lot. I think there's a lot of brushwork in my future, maybe calligraphy.
Yeah, maybe we should be doing that brushwork. Oh, we got $20. Yay!
Yeah. I love money.
Hold on, we got a thank you song for you. Is this? How easy is it to hear? Oh, hold on. Okay.
So that, okay.
How easy is that to hear? That's probably pretty easy to hear. Okay, is everyone enjoying that? All right. So we got a $20 song. This is very nice. Thank you very much, Patrick. Happy New Year, and let me know if you have any questions. Here's a song for you. Okay, let me just try to make it amazing. Okay, good. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you, Patrick. Oh, thank you, Patrick. I think I'm clipping. Okay, 2, 3, 4. Oh, thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Patrick. That's for $20.
Not bad.
Yeah.
For $20.
What do you love more than money? Can't think of anything at the moment. Thank you, Patrick. Welcome to the chat, everybody who's here, everybody who's been here. I hope it's been great so far. What can we do this year? It's a long year. I've got to make a video every week. I'm low on topics at the moment, but that's how it almost always is. Can anybody suggest topics that I should cover this year? That will be a useful thing for me to know. What kind of videos do you even want to see these days? What are people interested in? I hear that nowadays, you wouldn't believe it, but they're using guitars with not only distortion, but
oh, we got $2
$2 we got from our friend Anthony. Too true. Thank you. We got $5. We got to finish the $2. We can't be ungrateful to 2 just because we got 5. Here it goes. To get paid money. Thank you. Oh, the Lindy Hop. You know the Lindy Hop is that dance?
Mhm.
And now for Nick Kruger, our pal, we got another. Here, can you sing this one? I'll...
Thank you. Money. Pretty
Oh. And well, we got $4. Here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Money. We love money. We love money.
I wish my hands were money.
Yeah, please. So turn our hands to money, internet. Oh, we got. All right, we got to sing for money. To all the people who are watching this and not giving us money, first of all, that's totally fine. But second of all, you should learn a lesson that we'll always play for money. Here we go. This is what you have to do to survive as a musician. You have to accept money. Here's the money. Take that. Oh, thank you. It's so good to know that when I die, I'll leave money behind. Thank you, everybody. All right. Is it funny? No, probably not. All right, we gotta please make my day by singing "I like a potato in law." I like a potato in law. Yeah. What do you think? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, we didn't get any money. That's a good song, though.
Yeah. I don't remember it though.
Joe Fadum, the drummer from Thank You Scientist, is here, and he says that we should "we" on camera. And to that, I have to say, how do you know we didn't already?
Okay. I've got a segment.
All right, we got a new segment.
All right, this is boy or girl.
Right.
Okay.
Boy or
so
girl.
you pick my right pointer, middle, or ring finger, or my left pointer, or middle, or ring finger.
Yeah.
And then we'll determine together if we as a group are a boy or girl. Because that's all that there is with gender. Just kidding. There's a lot more, but we'll just
keep it. We'll keep it binary for this game.
It's a great game for middle school.
So pick a finger. Right hand, we got
Pinky. That one's not involved.
no pinky, sorry, but
Sorry.
let's see, we got
There are no
index,
genders. That's
index, middle, and ring. Let's not address that in the chat. It's just too hard. All right, we got index,
Okay.
middle, and ring.
okay. Here we go.
Yeah. Oh,
We are infinity.
infinite. We did it. Well, that segment, that's gonna have to go. We'll have to do that again.
Okay. Right now.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Okay. We got very specific now. We
Okay,
got
now
right
we got
middle,
all right, right middle finger. Let's do it.
and then we got
Okay.
middle. So
Middle.
I'm gonna get rid of this middle too. Okay. So
Okay.
I still need
One more finger.
which index?
Index.
I need-
Yeah, right hand or left hand index.
That's what we got left. Index and rings left.
Left. Index left.
Index left.
Let's see. Boy. Oh, it's a
Boy.
boy. And the reason we say that is because it looks like a penis, but it could look like something else. All right. No Wrong Notes is awesome. And this is from Andreas Cordier. No Wrong Notes is awesome. And I especially love the video Six Solcatu Beats Bro even did a composition with that concept. Nice. So I love more videos where you explain one writing concept. Okay. One writing concept so that you get inspiration for more writing. That's something I really enjoy doing. So I'll definitely make videos like that. And then we got another comment from Beverly Street Trio. Hey, Ben, you should make a video about playing keyboard parts on guitar in a trio setting, specifically how you would use effects to fill up space and sound cool. And that's from my pal, Danny. That's a very good topic and it's very hard. We just got $5 and then $5 more and and an invite for spaghetti. So we got some music to make over here. I'm gonna get the guitar this time. You can play the keys. Okay. Can I recommend one of the synths to you?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. That one. Yeah. All right. This is to 05 Anonymous 50. Do you think you could do a video on modal interchange? I'd like to see how you approach it. Guess I could do that right now. We're in D major. But what if we grab an A flat major chord? Can you do an A flat major chord, right? A flat, not A. That's from D minor, and you can throw that chord into D major, and now you're borrowing from D minor. It's the flat 6 chord, and then you go back to major again. We got the D major. So to do that in fast motion, it's like, here's my D, D is free, and then we got that chord, and then we go back. Well, that's perfect. But yeah, modal interchange is fascinating. I think I might talk about it in the context of music that doesn't have chords, like using it just in the melody, like in some Indian music. And Marcus Rugby has invited us to eat spaghetti together, which sounds great.
That's also Ben's favorite fruit.
It is. I live off spaghetti. I've got spaghetti in my muscles.
Ben, it's the only food you really crave. Like, I just really need spaghetti so bad. And then we have to get spaghetti to eat fast. Or else.
Yeah, by the end of tour, if I haven't had my spaghetti, I'm just a pile of worms. Let's see. For Marcus's song, I think we should use this phone sounds. We got phone sounds here. Okay. Okay. Listen, Marcus, eating spaghetti, that's really nice. It's a new year and I want my wife. Hey, throw that wife. Hey, slap me in the face. Ouch. One more time now, y'all. Eat spaghetti together. Slap my face.
Hey.
Yeah. I hope this has been useful to people. All right, so let's see.
It definitely has.
In the music theory from the ground up video, we got Peter Hughes series thingy. Let's see, there was more to that, I think. And let's see. Okay, trying to look for some questions. I think this would be a good time for questions. Oh, songwriting using everyday household items as instruments would be a great video. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Everyday household items.
I feel like that's a really great way to do percussion. That's like one way I remember Courtney and I used when we were writing In God We Trust. We were like, let's just use like her pots and pans and like light switches and stuff. I mean, it was really like creatively fun.
Got the ball rolling for you, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also a cool alternative to using drum machines and like expensive sound libraries is to just take any microphone. This could be your like computer's built-in microphone, or if you have a phone, your phone's microphone, or any microphone you can get your hand on, and start looking for percussion around your place. And percussion could just be tapping on a table, but when you put a lot of compression on these sounds, they start to it's like they get magic. You could use a chainsaw or a toilet, which I've done before, or cat calling.
Or ice beam.
Ice beam. Yeah. All right. How did I do my animations? Asks Arvid Lundberg. Like what program? The non-3D ones. Okay, so the 2D stuff I do in Adobe Animate and Photoshop. It turns out in Photoshop there's this view called Timeline View. If you find the option New Video or New Blank Video Timeline, you can draw frame by frame and set the frame rate and use all of Photoshop's features to make animations. And that's good for texture.
Yeah.
And Animate is good for really smooth lines because it's vector based.
And it can correct your lines, which is really, really neat. You can be like a shaky handed, like you could have like just this kind of thing going on, and it'll just be like, you meant this.
Yeah, and that's helpful for me because I got shaky hands.
That's good.
Let's see, we got
no surgeons in this house.
Yuri Weber noticed that this is the best New Year's Day party ever. Yeah, it's true.
Oh.
It's true.
Kiss my butt.
Kiss my butt. All right. Let's see. We got Kike, our pal Kike here says, "Hey y'all, la 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 la. I think a neato topic would be on how doing everyday tasks can be inspiring, like doing your day job, grocery shopping. I found it if you complete tasks outside of music, it can be great. I recommend watching a show on Adult Swim that is streaming right now called Joe Pera Talks With You.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a comedy show with a very sincere kind of message to it that's not like sarcastic at all, about enjoying the little things in life, the everyday rain outside your window and a nice fall drive.
Yeah.
And pumpkins. Just
dancing.
Things that are around and accessible to anyone, no matter where you live in the earth, are just amazing. Like a good lightning, for example. You ever see lightning and it's just, dang, that's bright and electric. And learning, you can learn. That's a great thing to do. Grocery shopping can be amazing if you really think about where all those groceries came from, and it's kind of scary too. I have a fascination with cereal boxes.
I sometimes when I'm grocery shopping, I get overwhelmed by like it being crazy, because apparently the Trader Joe's I go to is one of the most busy ones in the whole country. So I sometimes just put headphones in and listen to music, and calms my heart, or I listen to really heavy music and it makes me more aggressive with my cart.
Someone just asked, Girl Make Us says, another nicey dicey video would be about how every art form is connected and what it means for music. That'd be a hard video for me to make because I don't know very much. I'd have to do a lot of research. I don't know much about anything except like what I've already talked about. But but it is a good point. I found that to be true, that every art form is connected. But you know what else is connected? Things that aren't even art forms. like
No boogers.
like conversations and stuff. When Jessica moshes, she bring that motherfucking cart.
Mhm.
She has the cart at the grocery store. And Captain Crunch is a great low shaker there, Ralph. That's a good idea. Using a cereal box as a shaker.
Mhm.
What would be a good snare, you think?
Um,
That sound is a good snare.
yeah,
It's like an electric snare. Like,
yeah. I wonder.
that's a good snare. That's a good. How would we make that sound?
Maybe a baseball bat hitting in the stadium.
Yeah, you could go to a baseball stadium.
Crack of the bat.
Crack of the bat right there. Let's see. We got. Do you guys know any good undergrad jazz programs in the EU? No, I don't know very much about schools in the EU at all. But as long as there's a large, diverse population of musicians in terms of instrument, interest, and specialty, and you can make friends with people who are really serious about music and trying to, explore it as deeply as possible, then it's probably a good school.
I know, not like a college, but Nick Barsh holds like workshops, and he's in Switzerland,
In Zurich.
and he has his own club, and he has festivals come. He like helps curate festivals, and he has 2 bands that he plays with out and at his club, and they're like really, really intensive, like really amazing rhythmically and texturally, and he's like a sorcerer of music. So I don't know. You might want to check him out.
Yeah, Nick Barsh. I'm doing a video about him real soon. So if you want more info on that, just stay tuned.
Just hold your horses.
And then
I
we
wish I had a horse thing.
End of Night asks if or said he'd like to see, or the person would like to see more Let's Write with a Plan videos, which is something I think I might do. I want to do it, I want to find a way to make it more entertaining, but I find it to be very substantive and rewarding. And we got our friend Joseph here saying, "Hi, Ben and Jessica. Where do you get your clothes?"
Well, I got this at a thrift store, and we got this at a thrift store, and this on the internet.
Yeah, .com. God bless you so much. Who inspires you in terms of fashion?
I'd say Queer Eye.
I'd say Jessica. But yeah, we both like that show, Queer Eye, the new version, especially because they spend a whole week with the people that they're helping out, and so they get to know them.
Yeah, they teach a lot of good lessons, and it's really amazing.
Yeah. So let's see. I think it's a good time for a segment. Let's do another question. All right. All About Gravity. Would be nice to see you share some more of the stuff that inspires you as an artist. It's always great to witness your musical creativity. Thank you. About how you enjoy. It's great to see you create stuff. Well, let's see. Stuff that inspires me. Well, that Joe Pera show really inspires me.
Yeah.
Joe Pera Talks with You is very inspiring. And Nick Barsh is a good one that inspires me. And music, obviously, new music is inspiring. Oh yeah, there's this very inspiring documentary called Jun-un, Junun, and it is this wonderful ensemble of Indian musicians recording in India with Johnny Greenwood from Radiohead, Nigel Godrich, the producer from Radiohead, and an Israeli musician named something Ben something. And the documentary is about their recording process. It's Shai Ben Sur. And the documentary is about their recording process, and it's directed and filmed by Paul Thomas Anderson. So it's a lot of talent exploding in a space, and it's very relatable and awesome to see. So that was real inspiring.
I've only seen pieces of it, but it was really beautiful, and the music is amazing.
Yeah. Thanks to all the nice things people are saying. It makes me feel good. How much do you think you need people to say nice things about you for you to like yourself?
Well, I learned that it really helps if I say nice things about myself or think nice things about myself. That matters the most.
So,
But I would say the people around you matter a lot too, and then strangers matter too. But I think the thing that matters most is what you think of yourself. If you tell yourself nice things, you'll feel real good.
yeah, I'd say Jessica is responsible for a lot of my stability psychologically.
I'll take the credit for that.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Let's see. We got more stuff coming in. My thoughts on black metal. I don't know very much black metal, so if you
Can I do a sound for each of these?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you read one and then I'll do a sound?
Ben, what are your thoughts on black metal? Well, I don't know much about it. I've heard Dimmu Borgir, but I know that isn't like a consensus that they're actually black metal. All right. Do you think English words are evil spells that we cast on each other, like good morning? It's a very nice question and something interesting to think about. I think words definitely influence people in ways that they can't control. Once you hear some words, it's just in your head and that's it. So each time you make sound at someone and it turns into words, you're like forcing them to change their cognition in some way, but it's not necessarily a problem. It's just how it goes. What type of music do you listen to? All kinds. There's no type of music I don't like. I like the band Big Thief. I like Kendrick Lamar, and there's this album called DiCaprio 2 I heard about from Fantano, and I really like that album. I don't even know who made it yet because it's all new to me. Have you guys been checking out those end of the year lists from all the various music publications? I feel that's a great way to get inspired, is just to go through those. It's more interesting to me to look for the 50 best albums of the year rather than anyone's like worst list. But you go through the best of the year list, and there's always going to be tons of music you didn't hear or that you missed this year, and then you can get a lot of new ideas. That's a very inspiring thing.
Yeah.
Okay, we got. Do you ever feel that your personal demons will take control and you will become an agent of Satan? Well, I really like Satan. Whoa! Hey, good Satan sandwich. I barely need any, which sounds good, but also means I'm not that motivated to be impressive. LOL. I see. Doesn't need compliments. Well, that's good. There's no need to try to be impressive. You just want to try to be full. Have your soul be full of meaning. And I don't know. I'm not an expert on very much at all, actually, turns out. Happy New Year from Germany. Happy New Year. We'll be there soon. Is this a hate anniversary? Did you see? I think there's a reference to a very old video. Very nice. Let's see. Favorite chord ever? It just depends on the context, but major 7 is the most flexible, I think. You can put those all over the place, and it sounds like so pretty good. But yeah, you can be like,
sexy
that's C major 7, and then like if I just throw in E flat major 7 and then like D flat major 7, they all just seem like they're happy to be there. If 2-5-1's tendency is to resolve consonantly, major 7 and major 7 sharp 11 chords tendency is to appear out of nowhere and take you to new places. That's how I feel about it.
Get back to work, you slacker.
Woo! What about hip hop? Ralph asks. I love hip hop. Listen to lots of hip hop. Let's see. Jinjo needs help. Asks. I just started to record my own music, but I can never finish my songs because I get stuck trying to make things sound polished before it's even done. Do you have any tips on how to avoid this, Jessica?
Yeah. So something that I learned in school that was really helpful. My teacher said that your best 10% of what you do is always going to be just a small amount of what you do, and the rest is the 90%. So you're gonna have a lot of shitty things, and you have to just move past them. So with something that I tried was making a song every day. I did it for 4 months, and I would say I went from very, very beginner to like I felt like I knew what I was doing a little more in a songwriting context. And so I think that was really helpful in just like finishing a song, having like just the goal, not the song being good, but just being done as like the thing, as the exercise. And then you get some good songs that you want to keep, but not all of them. Most of them are shit.
Yeah, I really believe more is more when you're talking about making art, actually. I think, less is more maybe is a good rule for aesthetics within art, like maybe fewer instruments in a song or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes to your actual output, making lots of stuff without too much judgment of its quality, but rather just kind of like taking notes along the way, being like, oh, this one and this one, those are my two favorites out of the 10 songs I did this week. What do I like more about those, and how can I build on that and learn lessons from that? That's, I think, better. So in other words, if you take a week to write one song, it's not, I don't think, as productive as taking a week to write 2 or 3, or like, well, I mean, a week's not that long, but if you're going to make, I think you'll have a better chance of making one amazing song if you make 20 songs in a year than if you work the whole year on making one perfect song.
And if one song a day feels like absolutely insane, you could just make one song a week and have like a really strict deadline, and that's like enough time for it to really like simmer, and just keep the deadline for yourself.
Yeah.
Be like your own teacher.
Yeah, it's very nice when you write, but don't try to make things perfect all the time. All right. Can instrumental music evoke more than just feelings? In which other ways can music without spoken words convey meaning and tell stories? I think that I think it's too individualistic. Like, it can evoke more than just feelings to the individual, but it's very hard to lay out a very specific, universally agreed upon story with instrumental music. For instance, if you're talking about, like, can you tell the story of David and Goliath with music and without any like words accompanying it or a title or a program? Can you have just the sound itself make someone think, oh, that is definitely David Goliath, and then someone else think, absolutely, that is objectively correct? And I think you need some words to get that kind of objectivity about a story.
Or like a music video or an image to like help the listener like have context for it. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's a little bit too loosey goosey,
which is the coolest thing about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it totally. Yeah, I think it's just it's too subjective. All right, what's the lowest note I can sing? I think it's an F sharp, but that's only in the morning.
Pretty good.
How do you name an instrumental piece? Which is related to the other question. Whenever I listen to something, the title always just seems really wacky and out there. Is it an arbitrary decision on behalf of the artist, or is it too subjective? Well, you can name the title, of course, whatever you want. I like using names that just kind of intuitively feel like related to the piece or that help guide the listener in some direction. But Nick Barsh, the guy we've been talking about a lot, he names his pieces module and then number, and he's just kind of in order of chronological order of when he wrote them. So like you could, your name's Luke, you could have your first instrumental piece be called Luke 1, and then your second one be called Luke 2, and your 10th one be Luke 10, etc. And that will make it so you don't have to worry about meaning in your title, but you can also get that nice utility of keeping track of what you wrote and distinguishing them from each other.
Yeah.
And we got a question here. Have you guys ever heard of this band Bent Knee? They're really good. You should check them out.
I actually have heard of them.
You have got to be kidding.
We're in
Bent
that
Knee.
band.
You have got to be kidding.
Me so horny, me love you long time.
Oh, I didn't mean to play that one. I don't like that.
Cool. All right. Jessica reads comments. Time for a switcheroo. Jessica reads comments.
Okay, I can't read very well.
I like that.
I don't know how to read.
It's okay.
Okay.
You want some water?
Sure, let's drink it together.
Okay. That looks good. Cool. I'll be the DJ.
Okay. Weirdest time signature you have played. Well, I feel like time signatures feel the weirdest when it's the first time you've ever experienced them. So I feel like Blue Rondo all the Turk in ninth grade really.
Because once
blew
you
my
get used
mind.
to it, it's just they're all the same.
Yeah.
Well, they don't all feel the same.
No,
but they all.
they all like they have a
They're not
different
weird.
feel and you get used to it eventually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not saying I'm an expert on time signatures. They're still pretty hard for me, okay?
Hey, no problem.
Let's see. Can you guys appreciate noisy music like Death Grips?
Yeah. Oh man, the new Daughters album was one of our favorite albums of the year. Even before we heard Anthony Fantano loved it. I gotta say, we already liked it.
We already liked it. And my favorite thing is to be with Ben in the van and listen to it really loud.
Yeah.
Full bore, sing along. It feels like feelings I've never had before with music. Like it's kind of like dirty and it feels good at the same time. It's just like heavy music is really special.
That album, in particular, we saw their comeback show in New York, like their daughter's first show in like a decade.
Yeah.
And we fell in love with them just from seeing their show because the guy, he's licking his hand, he's holding hands with the audience after licking. He
smashes his head with a microphone.
Yeah, it's cool.
And we also saw a band called Godmother that I think the lead singer of that band has a very similar kind of stage presence, and he's super crazy too. And as some of you know, the Dillinger Escape Plan is like that too. Yeah. And they all I really, really appreciate that kind of showmanship that it's kind of like break your body for your art.
Yeah.
And it's really entertaining and really fun. Do you see a good one?
Let's see. We got how do I push myself to write when I always hate what comes of it? I think that's a good question. So
okay. I think having a lot of boundaries is really good for any kind of creative output. So, like, if I had this once at school, a teacher who insisted that everyone write the worst song that they could, and most of the songs ended up being awesome and just like a little sillier than what they were. But I really went for it. I wrote a disgusting, horrible sounding song that had really bad lyrics and out of tune everything. It was really liberating. And for other people, it just meant that they could think of it as like different from themselves. And I think that's a good exercise. Like how bad can you get?
I'm gonna do that. That's
Yeah.
gonna be my next video.
Cool. Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make the worst thing I possibly can for the new year. That's a cool, fun idea.
Yeah.
That'll be a really fun
Yeah.
day tomorrow.
Yeah.
I saw something. Oh yeah. I try to improvise on the spot, but I struggle to leave shapes I already know. Any advice to aid that?
You could just like tune to something else, or you could also limit yourself to, like, if you're playing on a string instrument, you could just play on one string. So that would eliminate a lot of shapes. So I think, at least for me, the shapes that I know are like in one position. And so you just or playing with some kind of effect, or like a slide or something, can really change how you're like approaching each note, and can really like just change the way you're sounding in general.
Here's one idea: is detune the strings, and then record your improv, and then transcribe the parts you liked, and figure out what shapes were those parts.
Yeah.
What the? That's a good one. Wait. Oh. Uh-oh. I dropped my almonds. 18 plus. 18 plus.
Wait, do it one more time. I'm going to
Okay. We should do another drawing contest. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a nice question. Jessica, what's your favorite Ben song, and what's your favorite Jessica song?
Well, as some of you know, Ben and I got married in August, and Ben wrote a song for me, and I wrote a song for him, and then we heard them for the first time at the wedding, and Ben's song for me was really beautiful and really funny, and it was extra special because I hadn't heard it, and that's so different. Whenever either of us finish something, we show each other pretty much immediately and give each other's feedback. And so it was really cool to not hear this, and it was really special. And I make him sing it whenever I want, and it's great.
Yeah, that's definitely my favorite Jessica song. So there you go. That's a nice story. Yeah. That's a good thing from last year.
Yeah.
I gotta go pee. Can you start a drawing contest, please?
Oh, sure. Okay. I need 2 things. Yes, we got married. We need 2 things. And I'm gonna draw them together somehow. So everyone just like submit a thing to draw, and then I'll draw 2 mixed together. Okay, a running Dorito. Okay, I got it. All right. This is going to be a quick one. Let's see. This and this, and then okay.
Should I play music while you draw?
Yes.
Okay.
I need a black pen. And all right, so it's a running Dorito going to a toilet because Dorito has diarrhea, and that's a little bit of the
Yes,
diarrhea.
and to the winners, we'll have you now hosted on Instagram.com for the win. Good. All right.
Thank you, everyone.
This is a multi social media experience where not only are we socializing here, but I'm taking a picture of it and putting on another website called Instagram.com, which is it's a pile of garbage.
You have got to be kidding.
So anyway, that was really good, Jessica. Thank
Thank
you for sharing your talents with this wonderful audience.
Of course.
Jessica, you taught me how to kiss. My girlfriend always compliments me on my good pokes. I'm still in the process of improving my licks. Circus.
Aww.
Yes, if you
I'm
guys
so
need
happy
to learn,
hear that.
if anyone wants to learn how to kiss, let me put the link to this in. I'm gonna put the link to how to kiss in the chat here, so that everyone can learn.
It really will help you out.
Honestly, it will help you out. I'm being honest. I want to share it on the internet.
Hi, kiss.
Hi, kissers. Yeah. You guys, it only has 101 downvotes. It only has 101 dislikes. So if you guys could please dislike it even more. It's got an epic amount of dislikes. So there it is in the chat there. I recommend that video higher than anything that has ever happened. And I'm talking about better than all the books and music. Yeah. So let's see.
Oops.
Let's see. Justice Cow has some of the funniest videos I've ever seen. There you go. Jessica has a YouTube channel called Justice Cow, and it is hilarious. And you got the best content. Yeah. Thank you. All right. I feel like the energy's dying. We're like destroying this experience for everyone. We're making it bad.
What should we do?
This is
better?
horrible now. We should play Hangman. Let's play music Hangman.
Music Hangman.
How do you play Hangman? Can you explain it?
All right. So we're going to come up with something secretly, and then you guys have to guess what it is.
Yeah.
And collectively, you have to work together because, listen, and there's only so many lines before you're a dead man.
Yeah.
You're hung.
How many lines would you say before the man is? So Hangman is a game, right?
Yeah.
So it's not
I'll
real.
get a thicker pen. It's not real, so don't be afraid.
Can we maybe let's do like a practice game so that they get it? Because this is quite a.
So let's say this is going to be a farm animal.
Yeah.
Of some kind.
Okay, so and what do those lines mean?
So that means there's going to be 3 letters, and so here's the post that the hangman will die upon.
Okay, and so what do you want?
It's a really brutal game.
Do you want him to die?
No. So okay, so someone
how do you prevent him to die? So
someone guessed C.
Okay,
so I will draw C at the bottom, and I'm gonna cross it. I'm gonna be like that because there's no C in this word.
In that word.
So you get a rope.
Are you sure there's no C?
Yes.
So now you can conclude the word isn't cow. I'm just moving it because it's getting disappeared.
And we got a W.
Okay.
All right. That
would be in the word cow probably.
Probably. Yeah. So I'm gonna draw a little head.
Okay.
So I guess that's the second move.
Yeah.
I'll count how many accidents you get.
All right. So we got an X and a P.
Okay, so an X, so it's not X. Okay, so you get another one. So that's the third move.
Oh, I think P. That sounds like a good one.
Okay, let's do P.
Oh, so
P is in there.
P.
P.
Wait, I want to make the P sound. Hold on.
Hold on,
Ready,
everyone.
Set. What? What is this? World War Rising.
It's because it's free. It's an ad.
Look at this. I'm trying to get good sound effects. It's making me watch this game. I never even played the World War.
All right, and then someone guessed I. Look at that, another letter.
Self-destruct sequence activated.
There's P. Okay. Oh, I. Okay. Let's
Okay,
see.
so we have one more letter. Okay,
We got pi. Okay.
Oh,
I think
someone guessed the whole word actually, so I'll give it.
Okay,
to
Siddharth.
you. So you
Siddharth,
didn't
you
die.
got it, man.
Okay, so that was just a practice round. Now here we go.
So
for
that's
the
wait. So
real-
why didn't he die? Can you explain that?
He didn't die because we solved the word before.
Yeah.
Before the entire person was drawn with shoes and a
mouth.
smiley face and a hat
Yeah.
and a scarf. I'm giving you guys a lot of ways out.
So even though he's hanging by his neck, since he had no legs or arms or a hat, he couldn't die. You can't die till you have all the things.
Yeah.
Does
There's
everyone
not enough
understand?
weight on the rope.
Is everyone getting? Oh, look at this pictures of the pigs. People are posting pictures of the pigs.
Oh,
So-
wait, get the pig sound effect going. What are you doing, you idiot?
Sorry. Okay. So now let's play a real game.
Okay, this
of
one's
Hangman.
for real. Hangman.
This is music Hangman.
Okay, so we have to decide what it is.
Okay. How about like C, E flat, C, B flat, A flat, G. No, those are music letters. We gotta do words because of the example.
Yeah.
Okay, how about animals on a farm?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we got it. It's gonna be an animal on a farm.
And it's 5 letters.
And it's a very good animal, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to ignore the full guesses of animals because that would be so many letters and you'd be dead instantly. Okay, so we got L. L. Nope. Not in there. You guess what? You get the rope. Okay, we got E. Nope. Guess what? You get a little head. H. Nope. Guess what? You get a little torso. What do we got? We got M. Nope. People are wondering, I wonder what animal. You got an arm. Okay. We got S. Nope. All right. You got another arm. Look at how badly it's going for you. Okay. I see a T. We have one T. All right. Now we have. I'm gonna wait for everyone to catch up. Okay. I see some correct letters here. We got an A. All right. What do we got? There's no Q. You got a leg. What do we got? We got an R. There's definitely an R. There's an O. Yep. I maybe forgot.
ATOR.
ATOR. Whatever that could be. We got an L. There's no L. You get another leg. Look how close you are to death.
We got a guess. We got Joseph
Gator!
Alvarez. We got Ruben and Joseph and Dankwasher and Plastic Spine and Bravo Clone.
Here's a gator.
Gator. You guys guessed it before the thing died.
Uh-oh. Here it comes.
This is a farm in Florida.
This is, yeah, it happens to be a farm in Florida. And guess what? Look at, yikes, look out for those teeth. And then you guys can't forget the skills. Oh, I love those gator emojis. That makes me very happy. And look, he's happy too. It's a male, turns out. Gotta get those skills. You know, the only time I've ever seen a gator in real life is at gas stations when they're dead. Isn't that sad? I want to see a real gator so bad, but also I don't want to get bit. It's a hard life to live.
All right, so I feel like that section was good. That really saved the day.
Hold on. Somebody asked a really important question. How do you know the difference between a gator and a croc? Well, gators live in America. They live in North America and probably other places. And crocodiles live other places. Crocodiles have skinnier snouts. Gators have thicker snouts. And one, I think gators get bigger, maybe? Don't remember. Maybe crocs are bigger. Who knows? On Wikipedia.
Yeah, I think crocs are bigger.
Crocs are bigger, turns out.
This is
Oops.
good.
I'm wrong.
Uh-oh. So let's switch spots again and we'll just change it up a little.
Wrong.
Wrong. Too wrong to sit there. Okay. Very nice. All right, so we've reached 7 o'clock, so it's time for a new phase in the stream. The phase where we get real serious about your music questions for a bit. So, can you guys help me find a contextual link between the launch of the Falcon Heavy and the song Hash Pipe by Weezer for something I'm making that doesn't make any sense? All right, let's think about it. So, Falcon Heavy's launch was an example of a large private company revolutionizing the space industry. And Hash Pipe by Weezer is about a very famous band making a song that was a distillation of all the bravado that they sort of gradually evolved to. So they started out very self-deprecating as a band, and then by the Green Album, they get a little more bravado, a little more of like, we can do what we want now. So you could say maybe SpaceX went from, we're going to just try to do a better job at the thing that everyone else is doing, to we're going to do something no one else is doing, baby. I don't know. Yeah, we got $2 from Nick. You woke me up, baby. We're going to do a song about Mississippi gator farms. I'm going to do it with carrots. Well, in Mississippi, we've got these times that are hard. And that's when I take a trip to the local gator farm. My daughter, she loves to see those gators laughing. And when they're done with their tricks, everyone's clapping. Please. Is Bentley coming to Sweden anytime soon?
Stockholm.
Oops. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Next
Maybe.
thing. I very well could be wrong then. XD is one or the other. Crocodiles. Gators. It's a lot to keep track of. Okay. So, let's get some music questions going. All right? Okay, now you know what? We got a better thing. Now write a song about snails, about a sad snail that becomes a slug when it loses its home. I gotta give that a try. Okay? All right. Okay, ready? Thank you, VJ. I see what you wrote. You're nice. Nick, you're out of money now. Thank you. All right, ready? Let's get this party started. About a sad snail becomes a slug when it loses its home. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Jonathan the Snail. In snail culture, we're named the snail. Every snail has the same last name. It's the snail.
The snail, the snail.
And my first name specifically is Jonathan.
Jonathan the snail, Jonathan the snail.
One day my credit cards bounced, or checks bounced. My credit cards defaulted, or I ran out of money.
Oops.
They took away my shell.
No, no.
And then guess what happened next? I kissed my daughter on the head and said, let's go to the Gator Museum and all will be well. But then the next day when we came back, the shell was gone, my heart was cracked, and I decided now I'll be a slugger. Yes, I'm a slugger. Slugs don't need a home. Happy New Year, Dream Cheaters. Hello to anyone who just joined us. We're having a New Year's Eve party the next day, New Year's Day. Quick fun fact, it's the drummer in the band Bentley's birthday, and it's the new year. Happy New Year's to all of you. We got pictures of snails. Looking good there.
That's
Ben,
good.
what's your opinion on dotted quarter notes? Check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's your process like when you analyze and try to understand the components of any song? Well, the first thing that I think that's important is to enjoy a song viscerally without thinking about it, and then take special note of the moments that really grab you, and then dig in from there.
We have had a talk once about lyrics of a song, and like the first lyrics that you really latch onto and like remember, and like what makes you think the song is good. And I have a theory that those lyrics are the ones that remind you most of yourself.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
You resonate with some, it like triggers a memory.
Mm-hmm. Like I think people in general are connected most to music that teaches them something about themselves, or makes you think about the way you think about things. Like you're like, oh, I've had that exact same thought, or I've had that same feeling. They just put it better than I've ever thought about it.
Can I recommend a game to you guys? It's not a game you need to buy. The game is you go to one of the 50 best singles of the year lists, or you know, a big end of the year music list, and you listen to one song with a friend. Then after the song, you talk about what you thought about it. Then you listen to another one, and you talk about that. It's a really fun game, and I found it to be inspiring. We did it last night.
We did. It
We were
was really
driving.
fun. One thing that happened just very naturally is as we were listening to the songs, some songs remind you of other songs, and it was like a really nice opportunity to show Ben some songs that I had been thinking about that are similar, but maybe do a similar vibe or a similar story in a slightly different way. So like, for instance, there's like a breakup song by a female singer where she's like very subdued in the beginning and then kind of freaks out at the end. And we both listened to some other songs that are on the same topic or had a similar sound, and that did varying levels of jobs that doing kind of the same thing. It's very cool.
Yeah. It was so fun. I
Yeah.
recommend it. Great way to spend a long drive.
Yeah.
And we got a nice couple questions here. Does gear matter to you? Andreas wants to know.
I would say gear is like a little bit secondary to to my music, like kind of before and after a certain point. So I think you have to have a certain amount of gear to get your ideas out easily. Like for me, it's really important to have like a MIDI controller and an interface to plug microphones into my computer and record that way. And it's important for me to have like string instruments nearby to like come up with ideas, or a piano. And so to have like different options of things to sit down at and work out my ideas. But after I have had this stuff, it's like it's really easy to get a lot of ideas out. And I think new gear goes a really long way, but is like a little bit less necessary.
Mm-hmm.
It's like really fun.
Yeah.
And can like inspire a lot of material, but I think I would have gotten there anyway through the means that I already have.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the American dream.
Like, yeah.
We don't need all of this.
We don't need all this stuff.
Yeah, we don't
Well,
need
I
all this
guess,
stuff.
yeah, I mean, that's, yeah, there's this idea that I heard some lyric somewhere that the American dream makes you think you need things that you actually just want.
It's a Rebel Bucket lyric.
Yeah, something like that. So I think that's how it is with music making too. It's like you see people on YouTube or in bands with fancy stuff, and then you think naturally, well, I want to be able to sound like them or be able to sound that good. So the first place you could go is to their gear and try to copy that. And I think that you'll never effectively copy another artist that well, but what you can do is make your own sound, find your own way, and that'll be through the amalgamation of gear you have.
Also, there's a book called Steal Like an Artist that gives you lots of like tips and tricks to how to be like respectfully inspired by tons of artists and to steal like parts of their ideas, or like to write an album that they would write next year, or like if you're really really in love with a certain artist and you're just like, I have no idea how they come up with such a cool sound, and just like as a thought experiment you write a song that it would be their next song, kind of like fan fiction for music. And I think that's a lot of like how most musicians like get their own sound, is they kind of copy who they like, and they don't sound like them all the way, but maybe take little pieces of it.
Yeah. And there's a question here. Can you teach me about myself? I think so, by recommending that you, if you don't already, keep a journal and write in that journal and keep track of all kinds of things, like how often you practice and your fears and your happinesses and things you're grateful for and little ideas and big ideas and everything in between. And it's a good way to learn about yourself, is by having that record day to day.
For sure.
Um,
Also, somebody asked, any Jessica and Adam Neely bass videos planned? I want to say not yet, but I took a lesson with Adam a few months ago, and it was so inspiring. He taught me a lot, and he showed me just like a lot of cool stuff, and he showed me like really cool bass players that he's into, and it was, I think, the coolest thing, like having Ben as your teacher, is Ben is genuinely excited to be learning and excited about the things he teaches, and I think that's true with Adam also. And so it's so nice to learn from them, and the excitedness rubs off on you a lot, and definitely was really really meaningful to me.
yeah, it was cool to see Jessica come back Super Saiyan.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I've been transcribing Holy Ghost and wonder what.
You just H.
Yeah. Still playing Hangman. Luke is still playing Hangman over there. That's funny.
Appreciate it.
Fall of Math. I've been transcribing Holy Ghost and wonder if you can help me out with the last section. It sounds like the C, B flat bit of the riff, but the middle chord sounds spicier and I can't figure it out. Yeah. So I'll play that. So do. So yeah, it's like from the bridge onward, it's like okay, so E7, now we're starting the end of the song. And it's like, hey, hey, I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling so alone. G with my Holy Ghost. C, G minor 7, C7. Then wait. F, G. And then C. So I think that answers your question. It's the G minor 7, C7, then boom. What you got for me is pizza. I like very much this pizza. What is a pizza now? What is a pizza now? What is a pizza? Oh my goodness! There you go. All right. Let's see. The first chorus rhythm is super satisfying, by the way. Yeah, I love that. It's like a juicy feeling. Yeah, let's do it with mouth.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. Bap 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 bap. What now? Bap bap bap. Huh? Huh? What? Bap 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 bap. What you got there? Huh? 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 Having a haircut, but say, you jump for this part and play.
I actually learned that rhythm in this room.
Oh.
Remember?
This is the room we live in.
Remember that rhythm, and it was just like one idea for how to deal with that verse.
Yeah.
And it was really, really hard to memorize because it's similar but different each time, and it never repeats. Except for the whole thing repeats. Hard.
Yeah, it's a lot. I'm sorry, I'm reading comments while you're saying that. I'm like, yeah, okay. Wow! When you do your vocal harmonies, do you usually use thirds? I don't think we don't explicitly think about it, but I think we use thirds.
I think I'm very like where my ear wants to go almost always is thirds. That's like the harmony that makes the most sense. And I would say a good amount of the harmonies I sing, I like either came up with or
yeah. And there's fourths in there. I think.
There's fourths.
I don't know. Okay.
Good. We're good.
Who is she? Is that what Roger Waltz wants to know who she is? This is Jessica Kion. She's the bassist in Bent Knee. She's also the composer and leader of Justice Cow. And in Bent Knee, she also is, as all of us are, is responsible for writing the songs. So her insights in songwriting are very deep and inspiring.
And she's also my wife.
Yeah, I'm also she's wife. Very good wife to have.
Oh, maybe it was a Justice Cow reference because there's also a song called Who Is She?
True, could. Let's see. Everybody's saying nice things here. We got one very nice comment here from Lunch with an X instead of a U. Lunch is saying, "Hey Ben, just wanted to say you are a great human being and I love your work. Pizza forever."
Aww,
that is very nice.
that's very sweet.
Very, very nice. And being a great human being, would you say that's like every day you get a chance?
Yeah.
Every day you can be good or bad. It's not one. You're not one forever.
Yeah.
What something we can do? Oh yeah, one of my New Year's resolutions that I actually started in September for the Jewish New Year was to stop talking shit. And I have stopped. I've talked a lot less shit since then, and it feels good.
Yeah.
And my definition of talking shit is just saying things about people that you wouldn't say to them. So if you're already if you're having constructive disagreements with someone or complaining and you're doing it to them, to their face, and it's part of a conversation, then it's okay to talk about, but I wouldn't want to say it in a way that I wouldn't say to their face. So if Jessica is always clicking her teeth together and it's driving me nuts, to her face, I'd be like, "Oh, Jessica, is that a sound you have to make?" Or because I can get used to it if it is, but if it's not, maybe can we do that less? Hoits. But then behind her back, I wouldn't be like, "Oh, this clicking sound in her mouth is just making me want to throw myself out of a dog or onto a roof." Yeah, which would be mean.
Yeah.
Thinking over, sometimes thirds will clash. Yeah. Sometimes thirds will clash. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not doing a good job. Any advice for someone who's moving to Boston? Get a coat. $5. I absolutely love the snowy video for leak water. Could you explain how that shoot was done and how you picked the location, Yes, we were part of a video shoot for an online, a YouTube channel called Live from Nowhere. What they do is they pick locations that are hard to they pick locations that are hard to, or that are interesting to film in terms of cinematography, and are maybe really hard to get to, or there's something secretive about them. And then they pick bands and they do acoustic arrangements of those songs in those places. And so the shoot was done with some really tough people, ex-military, filming and carrying our stuff with us. Yeah, it was really intense walk deep into the woods in the snow, and then finding this spot where you could light a fire and stuff. They already knew, they scouted out the territory. So it was live from nowhere. It's a very cool group of folks that make that. Thank you so much for your contribution to the Bent Knee, or this YouTube channel fund. Thanks to my Patreon patrons and people like you, Patrick, I am able to consistently force YouTube into my schedule no matter what, without it becoming an existential risk for me. Let's see. Okay. Is there a supervisor here monitoring our behavior? The only thing close to a troll I'm noticing is that one dislike on the video right now. Usually the haterade drinkers are rampant. Voicefy, that's a good observation. I have it set so that if a comment is deemed inappropriate by the algorithm that I am notified and I have the option to show it or not. But I haven't been notified very much. There was one anti-Semitic remark that I removed, such as life, but I found that folks on this channel is just small enough. It's like the perfect size because I've got a wonderful audience of folks. You know, I really feel like my music gets heard and my ideas resonate, yet it's small enough that it's not like a free-for-all of trolling. So thanks to everybody for making this a good vibe here. It's a lot of fun, actually.
I apologize for nothing.
Let's see. We got some. Let's see. Let me get some questions. Joseph, our pal, asks, "Do you both recall the moment when you decided I want to be a musician? Was there any familial backlash when they saw you wanted music to be more than a hobby? How about for you?"
Yeah. I remember being really, really, really young, and like I remember my what I thought would happen was that I would be a singer. I was really into like Britney Spears and Faith Hill and the movie Grease, and then I got more and more into music in middle school and high school, and then I was very, very serious about it. I wanted to go to music college, and at that point, my family was like a little bit skeptical. My parents were kind of just like, that seems like it's going to be hard to pay back the loans because they're going to be a lot of money, and I don't know if music pays very well. You have to get like really famous right away. And I was like, I will. And then I didn't. My parents stopped paying for my loans while I was at school. And I had to figure something else out. And then they decided to keep helping me. And it was a very tumultuous time. It's very hard. And I had 3 jobs. I worked at a chicken finger place and an ice cream place. And I worked at Berkeley as an RA all at the same time. And I kept being an RA at Berkeley because at that point you can only have one job. And then it got a little easier and people trusted me a little more. And then we started having good meetings. We started touring. We started getting more serious, and it was a good time. And now my family understands a lot more what I do, and they're a bit more supportive, I'd say.
My parents were real supportive. My parents were supportive the whole way, so I'm real lucky. I have a very, very privileged music background where my parents helped me get lessons. They didn't help me. They paid for lessons. I had multiple guitar teachers. I had ear training and jazz teachers, and I went to the Berkeley 5-week program, although I did get a scholarship for that. I could have gone either way. It was just like all hands on deck trying to help me with my music. But I know lots of people who didn't have that kind of help who kick ass and are doing it. So you don't need to have all the luck I have to make it work. Thank you. That's a good sound there. What's the Nick Krieger wants to know, what's the best way to deal with existential threats? You got to build a little bunker.
Yeah. Stock it up with canned food.
Yeah. If you could rename Sergental Moon S, if you could rename the guitar, what would you call it? The acoustic guitar. We got a guy named Ben Levin in the chat
Your answer is the acoustic guitar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ben Levin is glad that he Googled his name a few years back and stumbled across me.
Aww.
And he's like, a fan of Zelda. Hey, Ben Levin, I hope your life's good and that you don't need to start a YouTube channel because that would, the analytics would be hard.
Yeah.
But I wish you the best.
I'm sorry.
Let's see. We got some more questions. Why do Seagull guitars sound so good? I agree. They sound real good. I'm not sure. It's unreal. A $400 one stacks up with multi-$1,000 Martins and Taylors. I haven't done that comparison, but it is my guitar of choice here. I mean, I always buy, like, so far in my life, I might not do this forever, I always buy inexpensive guitars. I find that guitars that are cheaper, the things people don't like about them don't affect me very much, because what happens is if, let's say, the bridge is shitty and I need to replace it eventually, then I replace it eventually. But like, there's a lot of wear and tear on any instrument when you play as much as I do and when you tour and stuff. So I'm going to be replacing things anyway.
I feel like you should mention what happened with your first Seagull guitar, just because that was like,
that's a good point.
Uncharacteristic.
Yeah, so I took my first Seagull acoustic out of its case right after I got it, and the humidity or something made it crack right away. And I returned it and I got another one and the same thing happened. But you know what? This crack here hasn't done anything. It's hard to see, but it's been there for 5 years now. Hasn't changed anything. It hasn't made the sound worse or any of that. So it's a victory. Let's see. Oh, you know, my guitar's flanging. That's interesting. All right. Let's read some more questions fast.
Oh.
Do you have any thoughts or ideas about chordal harmony? Is that when you just use fourths a lot? If that's the case, then I think it sounds really nice. It's something to throw in there.
I like when you use just the interval, like in random places. Like, can you just do like fourths, like do, like move it around? It sounds very like a computer dying.
Yeah. It is very mobile. And also against a pedal tone.
Very open.
Oh, that's nice. Nice. Okie dokie, Ben, do you have any advice for a multi-instrumentalist who has trouble focusing on a single instrument at a time? How will that work out later in a career? I recommend not getting too pinned down on one instrument, but getting like just advanced but not expert on a bunch if your intention is to compose a lot of music and lead a band.
I feel like someone who does a great job at that. There's obviously like a lot of musical examples, but I feel like Sufjan Stevens plays a ton of stuff really well, really beautifully, and like just enough to get all his wonderful ideas out. And a lot of people talk about Prince being like just playing every instrument on his albums like extremely tight. I think he's kind of like an expert at everything, or he was an expert at everything. It's like a different level, but I think it helps you out in the long run.
Yeah, I think it's cool to be a multi-instrumentalist who is kind of dabbling at everything if your main intent is to be a composer. But if you want to be like the guitarist in a band, it's really helpful to be as good as you possibly can. If you're the guitarist in a band where you're also a writer, then it's, you know, you write around your strengths. It's a complicated question. I just recommend focusing whatever you do. Just try to spend as much time working effectively as you can, meaning like not just working long for the sake of working long, but working smart. I'm coughing from almonds. All right, let's see. We got some nice people saying nice things. We got Saint Remy wishing us a happy Jelly Mounds.
Aw.
Thank you, buddy. Let's see. We got to play it. Can I play guitar and piano at the same time? I can do this. Let's see. I'm gonna get my pokey buttons. Okay.
Not me.
Let's see. What else we got here? Oh, Ben Levin, you want to start a YouTube channel? Well, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to discourage you from that at all. Just my suggestion is for the sake of your like analytics and all that, or like where your SEO or whatever, just searchability, just making an artist name that is slightly different than mine, and then you won't have to worry about it, or just totally kick my ass at like doing a good job, which is it's fair game. It's your name too. It's your name. It's my name. We got £5. We got £5. I can finally remove the mystery chord annotation from my transcription. Thanks for the demonstration. Yay! Thank you for money. It's all I really love. Thank you for money. It's the best thing in the world. If I didn't have it, I'd want it more than love. And if I had it, I'd be blessed from above. Give me that money. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Man, I'm reading the questions, but I'm not reading them out loud. All right. Can you tell us more about that ring you use as a slide? Yes, it's called the Stealth Slide, and it is made by a man named Will Ray, and he's the only one who makes it, and it allows you to play slide without messing up your ability to play chords, and you can get them on Amazon just from Will Ray, and I recommend getting them because he's the only person who makes them. So if he ever stops making them, I don't know if there will be any. So the Stealth, can you do that one again? The Stealth Slide by Will Ray. It's very good. Let's see. Okay, cool. How do you get over the feeling that you'll never make it as a musician and that you're not good enough? Well, I love that question because I think it points to one of the central challenges musicians face, which is that the idea of making it, the marker for it, is in the wrong place. I think we all like the idea of being able to just think about music and nothing else in our lives. But even if you're a professional full-time musician, you're doing it for a living, you're thinking about lots of other stuff, logistics, getting from here to there,
How to make money when you're not on the road.
raising family or not, or are you going to are you able to have long relationships when you're traveling a lot? You're thinking and dealing with all kinds of stuff besides music. And even though music is a central part of your life, it's not a central part of your life because you're doing it for a living. It's a central part of your life because you're obsessed with it. So I think the best way to make it in music is to find all the corners of your life, all the cracks and spaces that you could possibly put it in. This might mean, it might be a simple matter of like removing some other stuff that you don't care about as much, like TV shows or whatever. Just emphasizing music as much as possible is how you make it. Now, if you're really into the idea of like playing on a super high level with super high skill with people who are also really on a high level of playing ability, that's something you can develop through dedication to the craft, that doesn't mean you have to be dedicated to the making money part. So if you're, whatever you're doing for a living, if you're trying to optimize it towards giving you time and space to work on a craft, even if that means an hour a day or less, the quality of your work and your commitment and the amount of focus and creativity with which you pursue that craft is something independent from how you're making that money.
Yeah. I also think if you are trying to get really, really good, and that's like your goal in terms of making it, I think going to a place where music or arts is like a really like there's a really big community for it, like New York or LA or even like Baltimore has like, you know, like there are a lot of really amazing art scenes in different cities, and I think trying to find people who are much better than you will improve your skills a ton really quickly, and putting yourself in the position of feeling not ready and stressed out and like working really hard exponentially makes you better.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage, and it's like a real commitment to go find people to play with.
Yeah.
But that's the battle. It's not like the money part of it is certainly difficult and time consuming, but that, I don't think it's the money part of it that makes people good.
I think like if you were to do that kind of thing, like move to a place to find people to play with and improve, and you stick with it for 5 to 10 years, the money stuff will most likely follow, because those really high level playing musicians usually figure out a way to make it work, and you can talk to them and you learn from all your friends.
Let's see, we got 2 pounds from Harry Dean. Here's a song for Harry. We're talking about how do you finish a song when you're stuck and it's hard. How do you finish a song when you're stuck and it's hard? If you are stuck, what do you do? What do you do, Harry Dean? I like to start another song when I'm stuck on a song, and start the next song thinking like, this is going to be a play song. This is going to be playing around, just letting things rattle a bit. Let your brain kind of step around in some other territory, and then take a step back to the song you wanted to finish. See if you have any new insight.
Can I answer
Oh,
two?
of course.
Okay, so one thing that I have done in the past is I will just like wherever I'm at with that song, I'll make it its own like MP3 file, and then I will do like I will save as like in a DAW or something, and then call the next one like Experiment A, and then just go somewhere go try one idea and just see it out, and then try a completely other idea. And I found that I never get to like D. Like it's either A, B, or C. I'm like, that's probably where it should go, and then I like it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That goes well with this. Can we get the burp with this? How does one cope with practice-induced crippling depression? It has so much to do, I think, with um, the general ecosystem of creativity you've got going on. I think people get too narrowly focused on practicing very specific things and like grading their playing based on how they're doing at these very specific things. For instance, soloing or shredding some lick or like hearing things and then being able to do it. Like there's this idea, this fixed idea of what a good musician should do, and then it's like, oh well, I'm not there yet, and therefore I'm not a good musician. Looking at things in these very like narrow terms will lead you always feeling like you suck, and not necessarily in a constructive way. But if you see art and creativity as this giant ecosystem full with all kinds of avenues like drawing and poetry and lyric writing and singing and screaming and making dissonant, horrifying music that's instrumental, and then really poppy, simple music that's got songs and hooks. If you look at it all as one big mush of activities and it all goes towards the same goal of optimizing your creativity, it's harder to judge yourself in such objective terms, but at the same time, you're getting better. So it's got the best of both worlds where you are getting better, but at the same time, you feel like you're being a little more playful in your work. If you can spread it out and work on your creativity from many angles. Then when you say, all right, it's time to practice my arpeggios and I want to work on this very objective thing with them, like building up to a tempo, you see that as one piece in a larger architecture of who you are as a musician rather than the defining trait of who you are and where you are.
That was very good.
Oops, thanks.
I think that another element of the depression is like how you are talking to yourself when you're practicing, how you are talking to yourself all the time, how you're talking to yourself about your own abilities when you see someone else play. And I think that like there's a lot of things that can help alleviate depression, like going to therapy, like exercising more, like getting more vitamin D, like eating healthy, like sleeping healthy. And I think sometimes music and creativity have to get pushed aside a little bit to let your self-care kind of stuff catch up. I think sometimes you have to take care of yourself enough to then feel like creatively available. And I think surprisingly, like stepping away from the things that are making you really sad can help that, and finding things that fill you up, like going, taking in other art forms, like going to a museum, doing something just for fun. That's just you listening to great
New
music,
artists.
listening to new artists. I think you have to fill up your cup a little bit of creativity, of possibility. Some of the most inspiring moments I've ever had is when I felt really depressed and then listened to something that sounds just overly simple but so beautiful and really like does so much with so little. That has inspired me a lot to just like get rid of some of those feelings, like, well, I'm not good enough at soloing or something.
Mm-hmm.
When you're too focused on your abilities, I think you miss out on like how many forms art can take and music can take to get to your emotions. But go ahead.
How many ways can you fill your creativity up? How many ways can you fill it up?
Specifically, I listened to Sun Kill Moon. I remember that was like a life-changing moment. He just like, it's very like minimal production, and it's just him and his guitar normally, and can really stab you in the heart. I listened to the album Benji. It's really,
Yeah, that's my favorite.
really incredible.
What a nice day to be alive. You and Adam Naley were my main inspirations to finally pick up my guitar again, and now I always have something to look forward to when I come home. Happy 2019. Thank you, old M. You're so sweet. Keep playing guitar, it's really neat. I think it's great when you learn and it makes you wanna come home and smile and learn who you are, baby. Wow, 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 wow.
I have to go pee. Be right back.
We're pausing Jessica for a minute while she pees. Here's a question. How should I structure my ear training routine? I find it very difficult to hear the differences between scale degrees like perfect fourth and perfect fifth. They're hard for me to differentiate. Well, to you, my advice would simply be, in addition to hearing intervals, do some transcribing. Take a solo or a piece of music and slow it down and learn it on your instrument. And then you start to have to hear those minor details between one note and another in all kinds of contexts. And as you progress in that way, when you come back to the interval training, you'll have more perspective. Oh, you must always have perspective. Whoa, 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 whoa. Don't forget your perspective. Don't forget. What's your writing process in Bent Knee? Does one person come in with songs you then rearrange, or is it more collaborative? We do it that way sometimes. In our newest album, the one we're releasing this year.
Someday.
This year. That one we wrote everyone in the room all the time, 6 people, equals say 100% start to finish. We got new snacks. Can you describe the snacks?
Granola.
Granola. There you go.
Water.
All right. So, let's see. Do you have a go? Oh, someone said I sing amazing. That's nice. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Do you have a go-to method to add harmonic interest to a song written with basic chords to make it sound less vanilla? Woohoo! I do. You just change one little thing and focus on voicings. Let's talk about this. We got C, the 1, we got F, the 4, we got G, the 5. Now, that's C, F, and G. But you know what else is C, F, and G? So is this. We got the E, the C, and the G. We got C, and we got F, and then we got this is G. So compare this to now same chords but very different vibe. And I find that it's not so much the chords that get vanilla, but the voicings that get vanilla. So what if I change it to this? versus versus maybe we'll make the F major 7 and put the 7th on the bottom, and so same progression, but it's interesting. So I just changed the voicings a little bit. Just change it a little bit.
Change.
Let's see. Yes, see, Luke is getting it. Luke says granola, dry, dry, make one a carrot. Exactly. You eat, if you want to stay awake on long drives, what you got to do is eat dry food and then eat a carrot, and then a dry food and then a carrot. Let's see. Have you heard Haley Bonar's song Hometown? No.
I've listened to her before. Let's see what I've listened to. I like her. I feel like I only know the names of people that I really like.
It's funny, people keep thinking I'm going to poke you in the eye with the strings, but because the perspective is weird. But these strings are like,
I'm not that little.
they're like way over here.
They're like a foot in front
She's
of me.
like over here. But thank you for your concern. I would
I
never.
have listened to this song. Look, I have it downloaded. Let's listen to just one tiny piece of it.
This is Hometown by Haley Bonar. Yes, the stream is working.
I like this song.
Hello,
Check
Seth
out this
Siegel.
melody.
Hello to our friend Seth. Nick uses celery instead of carrots, and Ritz crackers instead of pretzels. Not bad. Let's see. Very nice. I like it. It sounds really good. I want to hear it for real later, you know. When I not
I
on
like
those
the
speakers.
chorus, hometown goes wherever you go. It's a nice sentiment for people who moved across the country like me.
That's really nice, yeah. Do you practice any forms of meditation?
I meditate on sometimes with an app.
Yeah? Tell us more.
I've used Calm, and right now I have, let's see, I have, yeah, I've used like a few different apps, and I found that it sucks because they make the ones that you really want to meditate with a little more expensive, but they're too expensive to pay every month. So then you get the free ones, and it's just fine. Oh, it was like Mindful, I think was the name of it. We don't see it for some reason, but I'd say that journaling is also my main form of meditation. It's how I just get all my thoughts out on paper, and clears your brain, gets you ready to think about other things, think about the future.
I really do need to get more journaling happening. I haven't been journaling much lately.
But we're about to go on a trip, so maybe you'll want to do it a little bit and remember little details that you forget years later.
How do you journal? Well, what I like to do is I like to just try to fill space in the book. It's not necessary that it's words. It can be drawings. It could be like fake letters or like mush thoughts, like slip slop on my trip trop. I've got wop slop nop top, and it's just like sounds, alliterations, and then song lyrics and real shit too.
Yeah. I journal like using the artist's way kind of deal where you take up 3 pages in your journal, and that makes it so you don't give up when it just like feels right. You have to keep going, and I think you get to like a really different place than when you start writing out. And I just write whatever's on my mind, and then using like I read and did the whole artist's way, which is really great if you feel stuck on creative things. And I there's also a thing where you say really nice things about yourself, and you write it out 5 times, like a statement like I'm really insecure about waking up in the morning, and so I'll say, it's easy for me to wake up, and I'm very good at it. And even having those kind of lies in your brain makes you feel like more confident. It's a trick.
That's cool.
It's really nice.
Never tried that. Never tried that. Never tried that. But actually, one time I did write like the perspective of the person I wish I was.
Ooh, that's cool.
That was useful.
Yeah.
We got a big 4-part question here, and I want to try to tackle it.
Okay.
We got Lori in video asking, how do you make a balanced, manageable practice schedule when there's so many things you need to learn? What arpeggios are, how they're played, chords, all that stuff, what triads, do, all these things. Modes, phrasing, intervals, learning songs in general. You have to have a schedule that's like 6 hours long to do all that. You're right. That's a very good question. Insightful too. Seems like the world of music is always beyond our grasp. It's infinitely large, or at least it's too large for any human to possibly eat it all up in one lifetime. That's why music theory is so useful, actually, not because it's necessary for us to be good at music, but rather because it saves us a bunch of time. It helps us learn from the things that people learned in the past, so we don't have to start from scratch or reinvent the wheel just to get to the point where we're absorbing new information that hasn't necessarily been explained before. So you're looking at all these things within music theory or the fretboard or whatever that you need to learn, but I would say you really have 3 things you need to learn. And as long as you're addressing these three things in your routine, it doesn't matter if you're missing a whole bunch of stuff, as long as you're always addressing these 3 things. The first one is music theory, the second one is ear training, and the third one is technique. So these are very broad topics, actually. Ear training, theory is an explanation of how music that you're playing fits in the context of music history. In other words, how does it fit with everything that's already happened that we already know sounds good? Then ear training is taking those things that you hear and identifying them so that you can then analyze them through theory. And then technique is how do you actually play those things you're hearing and analyzing. So learning songs is a great way to address all 3. In fact, you could just learn songs and learn so much about all those if, after learning a song, you really deeply think about it and try to write a song like the one you just learned, or internalize the patterns to it, the concepts behind it in some way, or ask questions like, why does that work? And then try to repeat the experiment. So as long as you're doing something that has to do with theory and something that has to do with ear training and something that has to do with technique in your routine, it's a balanced breakfast, my dear. And also, one last thing is you should learn songs. That should always be happening.
Yeah, I think something that really works for me is to follow things that get me excited. Because I think that's the easiest way for me to feel motivated, and it's the easiest way for me to see progress. If I really don't know how to do something, but it seems really, really cool to me, if I start learning that thing, it feels so good. and then you just fall in love with it and you learn all about it, and then it's part of you.
Beautiful. We got some questions, some follow-up questions. We got some hellos. Hello. Good question here. What's the key to keeping a band together? I think communication and humility. Everyone's got to be interested in what other people say.
Yeah.
You have to be really interested in other people's ideas, even if you like your ideas a lot.
Yeah.
That really helps.
Yeah.
And the band has to be mutually agree that you all like have to prioritize the band very highly in your lives. And a big one is everyone probably should get equal pay. That really is a big deal.
That's a big deal. And not to ignore things that seem like a big deal. Like if someone in your band like had a situation where they got like super angry or super drunk or some kind of like out of control moment, I think it's really important that you all at some point talk about it as a band and decide how you're going to deal with that kind of thing in the future.
We got Seth Siebold. How does it feel to look back at the artsy journals? Very good, I think. We got a follow-up to that, which is Platfitzen says, I feel like I would cringe hard at my thoughts if I would write them all down.
You definitely do, and you don't ever have to read them. That's kind of the fun part. Cringy. Oh.
Yeah, you don't have to look back at them.
Yeah, you don't have to, and I'd say it's no less cringy than looking at old photos of yourself.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Grant. You should definitely check out The Artist's Way.
Yeah.
He likes our clothes.
Ooh, hey, Grant.
And we got a nice comment here from Voice Defy. You could also be a kind of anti-music theory musician who never is formally trained or bothers to read notation like Kurt Cobain. And I would say, I don't think Kurt Cobain would classify as an anti-music theory musician. I think he had his own music theory happening from the things he learned from teaching himself. And though he might not read notation, that might not be part of how he thinks about it. I think a lot of the stuff that holds his music together reflects a deep understanding of the theory of guitar, even if it wasn't formally trained to him. So I don't think he was like trying to avoid that knowledge. I just think that he came upon it in his own way. I'm sure if Kurt Cobain like saw something cool someone else was doing, he would pick it apart and learn it and figure it out, much like the way theory is founded in the first place.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on Ted Green? I don't know Ted Green. Sorry, buddy. There's a storm raging outside and I feel the chill creeping through the walls, but I just wonder, why does it seem that okay? So that's good. That's very poetic. That should go in your journal. And Nick Kruger, Happy New Year, just again, Ben. Unfortunately, I must depart early, but enjoy the rest of your stream. Thank you, Nick. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Angus, hello, everyone, especially you, Ben and Companion. This is Jessica.
She's Companion.
Jessica.
You gotta speak up.
She's a very skilled musician. All right, we got Forgive My Lack of Knowledge, starting off 2019 with the sick blazer. Hell yeah, Angus. Hello from Idaho, Ben. Hello, Terry. Thank you for your kind words. Happy New Year, everybody. Met you in Carborough. Hello, the cool square. Hello, hello. I think we're about to wrap it up here. I think it's been a wonderful New Year's party. Like, all right, so I'm gonna get like a couple, we'll do 3 more questions here. Why does it seem that music theory focuses more on harmony and less on melody? Personally, never found chord progressions that compelling, while melodies are the thing that makes me love music. Well, that's an interesting question. I think that you could argue that counterpoint is all about melodies, but it's about how they intersect to form harmony. So maybe to some extent harmony and melody aren't like totally separate, because when good melody comes together with other things, it forms harmony. But there's, throughout the oral tradition of music, and a lot of oral traditions like classical Indian or Arabic music, a lot of that music was passed down verbally, and a lot of African drum music and all kinds of music is passed down orally, and it is often the case that those styles focus a lot more intimately on melody. So if you're really interested in learning a theory of melody, I would check out the rag system in Indian music or the maqam system in Arabic music, which is very melody focused, and just learning how to do melody in that way, listening to that stuff, because I think the best, in my opinion, the best study on melody is done in a lot more of the Eastern oriented oral traditions, music that's passed down orally. I love that. Seth asks, how do you recommend finding like-minded musicians to play with? I think it helps to go to like open mics and host like hangouts and host like listening parties, maybe when a new album comes out, you could make like you could just have your friends, any friends you have, come listen to the album, and eventually maybe like you'll figure out that someone's got a friend, or there's a friend of a friend that you might want to jam with. But sort of hosting music events and going to music events like open mics.
Or just shows.
Shows. Those are the ultimate music events.
Yeah. I mean, I think at any level, shows are just like a lot of people getting together, and a lot of times they know each other from something. And maybe if you like ask questions and stuff, you can figure out if there's some other things that lots of these people go to, and then you could go to and meet more musicians. More
Yeah,
friends.
that's really good advice. And we need to check out Ted Green. That's what I hear. And Grabo Clone asked at the beginning if I could find some way to connect Weezer to the Falcon Heavy, and I sort of tried my best, and he wants to know if he can use the little clip of me saying that in his project, and you can. That's fine with me. All right, so I'm gonna do one more question here. Okay, we'll get to a very universal question here. Angus Hay asks, I find practicing hard, but I want to grow massively. How can I progress, and how can I motivate? I think that's a good question to end on here, and we're going to answer the shit out of it.
Okay.
All right. So practicing is hard, but you want to grow. So there's a conflict. There's the thing you want. There's the way you know you need to do it, but you don't want to do the thing, but you want the thing that you want. Nonetheless, you don't want to do the thing that it takes to get the thing, but you want the thing. Sometimes that's just because the approach, the practice to get to the level you want is something you need to develop as a habit more gradually. Instead of jumping right into the deep end of the pool and being like, all right, if I want to be as good as I want to be, I got to practice 10 hours a day and I'm going to go nuts. Let's get this shit started. Fuck shit up. Ah! No. You got to start out small, baby steps.
What?
What you should do is start a habit. Do a little bit of work each day. I'm talking 5 minutes.
What?
One thing, like one scale, real simple like. Then gradually expand what you do.
What?
Gradually increase the length of practice, intensity, and number of subjects. Don't pile it on too hard at once.
I'm sorry.
I think you'll find that to be useful advice. Jessica, let's sing them out for the new year. First, the guitar solo. Let's take it up a notch. Time to share. Little bit of shirt. Little bit of fast stuff.
Kiss my butt. Kiss my butt. Kiss my
Okay, time to sing. We wish you all a happy new year, full of life and light and joy. But inevitably, when some bad stuff happens, just don't give up on your love,
On your life, on yourself.
on yourself, on your life, on yourself, on your life, on yourself, on yourself,
On yourself.
self.
Me so horny, me
Self-destruct sequence activated. Kiss my butt.
All right.
It's been
Good
really
night.
fun.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is really a nice way to start the year.
Yeah.
Wishing you all the best. We'll do this again. That was fun.
Yeah.
It's a nice special. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Have a great 2019, everyone.